So I found this amazing thing when I was researching high-achieving women for my book, Wonder Woman. I found that they were haunted by this recurring restlessness. There was always something more, something next. When I went out and started doing workshops, I found men were experiencing this phenomenon as well. That even though they would start jobs and projects and clients and were very excited about it, after a couple of years, the excitement, the anticipation, the passion, even the fulfillment at the end just seemed to be drifting away. Early in these people's careers, they found they could change jobs, they could, even change careers totally. But as we move on in our careers and we develop an expertise, it's hard to let that go. And then we have bills. It's hard to let those go as well if we are going to make big changes. Yet, we have to acknowledge this restlessness, this calling that's coming to us. So I got together with one of my dear friends and coach colleagues, Zoran Todorovic, and we came up with a series of questions, and that's what I'm going to share with you, is the questions that we came up to look at the levels of potential. So these are questions you can ask yourself and questions you can ask your clients. So there's 4 levels. The first level is really personal potential. And I have an exercise in Wonder Woman where I ask people to look at their past and to find a peak moment and to clarify what was it beyond their skills and knowledge that they contributed to making this happen. I'm amazed how many of my clients can't identify this, can't list out like I have courage, I'm generous, I can see how things connect together, or I have a sense of humor. But when they start to identify that, they realize that's really what makes them special, and that's their edge. So the second level is greater potential. Greater potential is where we're really applying our contributions. And so I will ask my clients, what are you doing now? Are you applying all of the things you identified? That's so wonderful and great about you. Well, the thing is that many of us do start to learn how to do this, but really the greater question comes when we have reached that point where we are applying our greater potential. And then the questions come up, are you really now ready for the next level, which is profound potential? And I went through this just recently. I realized that I think I'm a pretty good coach. I know I'm a good trainer. I've been doing that for over 30 years. But what's next? And the joy for that is I liked doing it, but there was just things disappearing. But it was tough to ask the questions, what's next? So the questions are, if you were to take your greatest contributions but step it up, what could you do for your organization, your community, your world? What could you do that would really be special that maybe you've dreamed of doing but haven't yet done? The moment that I asked that and then realized that I was clinging to, again, my expertise, but that I acknowledged there were things disappearing, that if the moment that I acknowledged that, then new things began to emerge. And that's when my dear friend DJ Mitch came to me and said, why don't you be the training director of our new coaching school? And I knew that was what was next, to take my skills. But the highest level, the purest potential, this is where it's really tough to answer the questions. What are you called to do beyond what you think is possible? Or even, if you were willing to step into the abyss, what would you find on the other side? I'm going to say that a question again. If you were willing to step into the abyss, what would you find on the other side? At the last ICF conference, David White spoke, and he talked about his pilgrimage to Finisterre. And he talked about walking for weeks and shedding, how much he shed. And this is what I'm talking about. Are you willing to shed? Are you willing to shed to allow what is disappearing so what is possible can truly emerge? This is what I'd like to see for all of you. Thank you.